Was your decision to release it with the Girly Sound tapes? Did you feel that you were kind of in a similar place with Funstyle?
I think a couple people on the internet, some reviewers, made that connection for me, and I started to notice that theme. And a guy at Rocket Science, Matt Larson, also noticed it, and he's like, "Well, what about releasing them in tandem?" And I thought it was a great idea because it really does have a lot in common with the pre-Guyville work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which is, this is me in a bedroom with no sense of a public audience. You know, there was no sense at that point that anyone was even going to listen to this stuff. And I was just goofing around, following my musical inspiration wherever it led me. And to some extent, Funstyle is the same thing. Like, the tracks that are not done with my scoring partner, the ones that were done with Dave Matthews, is another side of the Funstyle ethic that is, you don't have to play well to make sincere, heartfelt music.
Right.
And that was getting everybody up to jam on a song and just putting your passion into it and capturing that moment where it really happened, you know, where the moment really happened. And I feel like at this point in my career, I'm able to discern those moments, at least from my point of view. Like, I know when we hit it. I know when we reached it, and the essence of what that song is about is there, and it has been performed in such a way that it's actualized, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what that Dave Matthews stuff was all about. And he gets that completely. He fully gets that. And I think he's so talented, and he works with such talented professional musicians himself that they are capable and do make beautifully polished records. But there is always that sense that each of them is all searching for those moments, like in a live performance, in a set. They understand that, and that's where we could meet. And that's our common ground, is that they understand that too.
Now, you had said that you'd written these songs a couple of years ago. Do you have anything, I hate to say this because you're just putting out this album now, but I'm already looking ahead to the next one. Did you begin writing songs for a new project?
Yeah, I'm always working on stuff. There's always songs being written. I'm always doing things. And it's really just a matter of when they coalesce into sort of the next musical statement. And so I just keep making them, and slowly over time themes develop, or you notice that you're doing something different. You know, what actually physically ends up getting made or brought out to the public is either when you choose to stop, you're like, okay, we're going to stop at this point and make an artifact of
Right.
this journey. You know, there's a lot of different ways to decide what collection to put out. And for me, I try to look at what point my songwriting has turned into something that I think is new and interesting, and then I try to sort of rally the troops around that theme, the troops being my songs. And a lot of
Right.
times, there are a lot of great songs that I recorded over the last 2 years that did not make Funstyle. And the only reason they didn't was because I found Funstyle. I found the live version of Funstyle, which would be the Dave Matthews tracks, like that's one way to be Funstyle. And I found the studio version of Funstyle, which is that Wild Wild West sound design stuff. And those were two things that I could just see them as a vision in my head for what they were. They had a particular identity. And that's where I was like, okay, grab that moment, lock it down, put it out. And so we'll see what happens with the rest of the stuff, or where I venture next.
Well, I want to encourage everyone out there to pick this record up. I've been championing it on the air for a couple of weeks now, and I had to play some radio edits that I created myself. I hope you don't mind the...
No, Sir Mix-a-Lot, get right in there.
Yeah. We can't say that word, but I got to play this track, you know. Again, the album of the year, I can't stop listening to it, and I'm jaded, you know, and I've heard so many records, it's getting to the point, you know, where it's like, oh, I don't even want to listen to this, you know, please. But this album I listen to all the time. Are you coming to the East Coast to play any shows anytime soon?
I absolutely am. I'm just trying to. Because I put it out by myself, first off.
Sure.
That's always what happens. Like, you're like, why do I need all these, structures and whatever? You learn pretty quickly why those things are in place and why people do records the way they do. And I think, to some extent right now, we're sort of just organizing the machine and making sure that people know that I'm touring before I actually book the dates, and that we can do things. It's like kids saying, I don't need parents, and then realizing they're stuck at a party in the valley at 2 in the morning. They're like, please come get me. That's a little bit what I'm doing right now. I'm sort of turning the responsibilities over to people that kind of do know what they're doing. And,
right.
Yeah.
Well, your website got updated, too. It went from...
Things are getting, getting, it's fun to do that, but there is some reason and logic. Not all things that are organized are pointless,
Right. Well, listen, when I first heard about the record and I went to your website to get it, I'll be totally honest with you. I looked at your website and I'm like, my God, this is the worst website I've ever seen in my life. There's nothing here. There's absolutely nothing. And now it's like, okay, now she's got pictures. Now she's got tour dates. It's getting there. It's getting there. There's video. There's just one, but that's better than nothing, So we're getting there. We're getting there. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks so much, Liz.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.